with you. The first scary story is titled, "My ex-girlfriend called asking for help. She wanted a ride home, but whatever I let in my car was not human anymore." I'm sorry, what? Not human anymore. Let's get into this. Something strange happened that night when I was driving home. It was the same drive I took every night. I was working late and finally ready to leave. I waved goodbye to my coworker Jeff and said goodnight. My commute was only about a half an hour. Damn, that's a long commute. Not too bad, all things considered. Never much traffic either. Just a couple of traffic lights, then straight down a country road. While I was driving out of the parking lot, I got a call. It was from my ex-girlfriend, Jessica. It was strange because she hadn't contacted me in almost a year. I was glad I got the call before I made it too far down the road where I was losing service. Living out in the country sucks for reception, and until I get home, I have no service. I pulled over and answered the call. Before I could even say hello, she cut me off. She was genuinely scared. "Please, you need to help. I can't reach anyone else. I need you to pick me up from Cypress Street bus station as soon as you can get here." I tried to respond, but the line went dead. I called her back, asking what was going on, but she didn't pick up. I was surprised she would be calling me if she needed help and confused why. If it was urgent or she was in danger, that she would call 911. I couldn't risk ignoring it though. If she really needed help, I had to do something. I turned around and took a detour down to Cypress Street to find her. I got there in good time and started searching for any bus station until I found one. Sure enough, there she was. Jessica was sitting alone at the bus stop. She was wearing a large coat, but seemingly shivering out in the night. She was still seated and didn't appear to be in immediate danger. I pulled up to the curb by the bus stop and called out, "Jess." At first, she didn't answer, and I was embarrassed I might have made a mistake. But then suddenly, she turned towards me and had a strange, confused look, like she was just remembering something. She stood up and slowly walked over to my car. I was relieved it was her, and I called out again. "What's wrong, Jess? Did you just need a lift? I don't know if the red line comes through this late on a Thursday. Are you all right? You sounded really nervous earlier and wouldn't pick up when I called back." She still looked confused, and I was worried something was wrong, but suddenly smiled as if remembering something that made her happy, and she regarded me. "Oh, thank you. I'm not sure how I got here. Please take me home." Without another word, she shuffled over to the passenger side and let herself in. The way she moved seemed irregular, not quite like she was drunk, but just odd, pained movement, like she might be hurt. Yet her expression showed no signs of discomfort at all. The effect was a little jarring, and after she got in my car, I suddenly felt a bit unnerved. I brushed it off though. After all, we dated for 3 years, and we knew each other pretty well. I figured maybe she was just having a bad night, or perhaps kind of strange, you calling me after all this time," I asked her, honestly. She looked at me again, her head tilted like a bird examining prey, and then she replied, I was attacked. Caught. Someone caught me. Hurt me. I will get help tomorrow, but tonight I just needed a face. A familiar face. I nodded my head and focused on the road. I missed my turn. I had a bad feeling about taking her home in this state. Something was off. As we drove on, she seemed to settle in, and her head rolled back almost like she was nodding off to sleep. I considered that she might have suffered a head injury or something, which would help explain the odd behavior. I thought it might be good to take her to a hospital just to have her checked out. She started making odd noises while I thought she was asleep. Strange hissing sounds, which had to be intentional. I never heard someone snore like that before. I decided to turn around and start heading back into town. Either I could take her to the hospital or back to her own home. She stayed in this strange sleeping trance for a while. A few times I was worried because I couldn't hear her breathing anymore, but she suddenly exhaled and made more strange sounds. When I got back into town and my reception returned, I received a text, or rather, a handful of them. I glanced at my phone quickly without wanting to take my eyes off the road for too long. I was confused when I saw they were from Jessica. I thought for a moment she might be pulling some prank where she pretends to be asleep and then messages me. I was curious how she could do that while looking like she was unconscious. I slowed down a little bit and confirmed the empty road, and then pulled up the messages just to see. What I read made my blood freeze. The first one came up shortly after I picked up Jessica. "Where are you? Please. I need help. I can't say much, and you will think I'm crazy, but I can't go to the police. I just need to get out of here before it comes back. Something is after me. It looked like a cop earlier. I saw it again, and I had to hide. It tried to kill me. After it attacked me, it changed. You have to believe me. It looks like me." The messages ended, and I read the next one. "I'm sorry, I don't know where it went. I don't see you here. Please hurry." I read the final message sent just a few minutes ago. "I need to leave. I hope you are okay. I'm sorry. I should have never asked you to come and get me tonight. I was just so scared. It's better if you stay away. It's not safe. Forget I called you. Don't come here. And if you see me waiting, turn away. I know it sounds insane, but it's not really me." I glanced over to the woman sleeping next to me. Her head was slumped forward, and her eyes were fluttering under her lids, like she was in REM sleep. I had no idea what was really happening, but if I wanted to believe Jess, then I had to accept that the person sitting next to me was not only not really her, but was a violent monster. Whatever was happening, I had to get her out of my car. I had an idea. I stopped at a gas station, and she woke up as I was parking. She turned over, cracked her neck in an awkward stretch that sounded horrifically painful, but seemed not to cause her discomfort, and asked, "Are we home? I'm so hungry." I held my nerve and lied. "Yes, we are. I can get you something inside. Come on, let's go in and I can get you a bite to eat." She scrutinized me, and for a second I thought she could see few circles around town and checking behind me at several intervals to make sure I wasn't followed. I kept trying to reach out to Jessica, but after several days her voicemail was full, and after a week I found out she had gone missing. I had a horrible feeling that whatever that thing was had caught up to her. I was devastated that she was gone, but also terrified that whatever it was knew who I was now too. I ended up moving away. I couldn't bear the idea of living near where such a thing existed. I couldn't find any information on what it was or how Jessica had found it, but all I knew was it was real, and it was still out there. After enough time had passed, I felt a bit safer. I thought that since I had put enough distance between us, things would be alright. That all changed after the call I received last night. I got a message from a familiar number. It was my old coworker, Jeff. I asked him why he was calling, and he started laughing. What do you mean? You said you would come over for the party. I saw you last night. You seemed a little drunk, but I figured you wouldn't remember agreeing to come over and say hi to everyone again. It's been so long. I just wanted to remind you to BYOB. See you there. He said goodbye, and I held the phone next to my ear in shock. The call ended, and I was speechless. I sit here now, terrified of what is happening back home. There's only one way they could have seen me there. That thing was back. It's there. It's hunting. I have to call and tell everyone. They have to believe me. They have to know that if they see me, it's not really me, and it's not safe. That's crazy. That's frightening. My mother is acting strange at night. My name is Talitha, though everyone knows me as Lita. I was born in Kentucky, but we live in a small town in Texas now. Our life is quiet, peaceful even. At least that's what it looks like from the outside. My mother, Sydney, has only one rule. I am never to leave my bedroom at night. Only when there is clear daylight, real daylight, may I come out. She had a bathroom and a toilet installed in my room, a small fridge she restocks every day, shelves of books, the latest video games. She says we're lucky the house belongs to family, that we only have to worry about a few bills. She makes it sound normal, thoughtful, loving. Whenever I ask why her face tightens, like she's holding herself together with string, I'm not myself at night. She tells me with a trembling voice, nothing is. Then she kneels in front of me and takes my hands like she's afraid I'll disappear. Promise me, Alita. Come back before nightfall. Lock your door. Stay there until morning. I always nod. On my nightstand sits a bundle of rosemary. Mother forbade me from moving out. I never have. I don't want to rebel, not when she lets me do almost anything. It's such a small rule. Things go smoothly until tonight. I decide to stay up late, curled on my bed with a show playing softly. I'll tell myself turn it off soon. Then I hear something downstairs. A wet sound. I pause the screen, listening. My unopened soda is cold in my hand. Mother's warning whispers at the back of my mind, but the window is pale blue now. It's dawn. I know you're awake. I shoved my earbuds in and squeezed my eyes shut, forcing myself not to breathe, not to move. Eventually, the house goes still. Sunlight finally cuts through my blinds, golden and warm. The feeling lifts like a storm passing when I come downstairs. I clutch my tiny cross and the rosemary bundle so tightly my hands ache. Mother, I whisper. She turns. Her eyes are normal again, soft, full of love. Lita, she rushes to me. Are you okay, sweetie? You frightened me, I say as my voice was breaking. Her face crumples. Did I hurt you? No, I whisper, but you were frightening. Forgive me, she sobs. Help me protect you from the night. Don't leave your room until clear daylight. Promise me, Lita. I nod yes, and I meant it. We embraced. I wanted to ask my mother more, but I feared I might learn about things that will haunt me forever. Interesting. What do you think it is? Do you think she turns into like a vampire at night or like a werewolf? I wonder what happens at night. I hope that you guys enjoyed and are feeling very relaxed. I hope that you are not too scared to go to sleep. I hope you guys